What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? It is rally season, which means I've got to get the rally car out of the trailer for the first time since, I think, Over Mountain Rally when we drove it last. I did wash it though. So, I'm Mr. Rad, welcome to the channel, and this is my 1977 Dodge Colt with a full Bridgeport rotary 12A engine in it, and it is sick. We got a few things to fix up on this deal because Oregon Trail Rally is a week away. We're going to be pulling the motor out of this thing, doing a few little upgrades, putting it back together, and then heading across the country because Oregon Trail Rally is the best rally on the ARA circuit. We raced all of them last year. It is by far the coolest people, the coolest stages. You get a race at Portland International Raceway in front of a ton of spectators. So let's get the RX Colt, as I like to call it, ready to rock. Listen to this baby fire. I won't say ride up, but it's going to fire up pretty quickly. Let's get this thing out of the trailer. I'm going to say cover your ears because this thing is loud. Because if you remember, if you're a die-hard Rad Potential subscriber, move these race ramps out of the way, then you'll know at the last rally, Over Mountain Rally in Tennessee last year, the first event with the rotary, we ripped the exhaust off. So there's no mufflers on this thing. Our muffler, it's completely gone. It's actually in the trunk where I put it on the last stage. Kept this thing on a battery tender all winter. Look out, Doug, you're gonna hate this, Letty. This thing is loud. Loud and proud to be rotary powered. That's what this is. Okay. There's no fuel pump problem. I gotta crank it until the pump comes on because it runs off oil pressure. Or maybe it just starts right away. Really? No oil pressure yet? Alright. We're gonna jumper the fuel pump on real quick. It should make oil pressure cranking, which will then kick the pump on, especially if it's been sitting for a while and all the fuel has evaporated out of the float bowls. So we can simply take, my pocket knife will work. And take my pocket knife, and back here on the back of the block, I've got two fittings. There we go. Get the float bowls filled up. Oh yeah. There we got fuel pressure. I always make it a habit of at least relatching the hood. Because, well, sometimes I get a little antsy and I fire this thing up and whip a donut, and if I don't latch the hood, it flies off, and that's not ideal. Alright. Take two. It's gonna fire right up. It's the RX Colt. It starts every time. Oh yeah, baby. It's rally time. It's also still raining. Alright, musical cars, let's get this in the shop. Look at that thing. Oh, I love that machine. It was such a dream I had so many years ago when my buddy Patrick and Ryan had those Colt rally cars with the 4 cylinders, which, you know, we blew them all up, all the 4 cylinders, because they're reliable and rotaries aren't, and it's got a rotary now. But to just Wankel rally car, guys. Wankel rally car. So good. All right, now these two cars have to start, which is, that one will start. This one, questionable. Gosh dang, that thing sounds good. All right, now we gotta wipe all the rainwater off of these things because I don't work on wet, dirty cars. So, and especially the Radix 7 as well, it just can't be dirty, man. It's like one of those things where, you know, you own vehicles and then you do things with them. And I wouldn't say that I'm like a YouTuber in a sense of I just have all these cars that I don't do anything with. Like every car I own, I would own regardless of the YouTube channel. Like there's no, maybe, but well, no, because Buzz is kind of cool too. I'd love a Turbo RX-8, but the YouTube channel doesn't drive the builds here. Like I drive the builds. I make all this stuff happen regardless of what technically the channel builds enjoy, you know? But this is one of those cars that like, man, it sounds sick. It looks sick. It's not an RX-7 because rallying one of these, it's not safe. I don't fit in them well, and I don't like how it's just the roof line of the Colt is way better than that. If I could find an RX-3 or an RX-2 or something to rally, I would, but parts are hard to get for this, let alone hard to get for those. So we race this. Now I have my own RX-3, and we've got a lot of fixings to do. Exhaust, engine out, fix a rear control arm that we broke at the rally that's currently like a piece of black iron pipe from Home Depot, and a few other things. So let's just, water, be gone, work. We'll leaf blow it on the next rally stage. All right, Chuckles, we got to get this engine out of here.
Did you break it already?
I did not break it.
The unreliable rally car rotary?
I know. We're going to use this time as a good test for see how fast we can remove our engine. Because we did the brown car in like 26 minutes with 3 people.
Yeah.
But this one should be much simpler because once we drain the fluids, the whole core support comes out in one unit.
We won't even have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, this will be easy. No, we're going to take the core support out. Look how close it is.
Yeah.
You can't risk my nice radiator.
This is true, and I don't have a good track record with radiators, so.
Yeah. So if you remember when we built it, we've got remove this bolt here, that bolt there, the whole unit, my oil cooler is up under here, the whole thing lifts out, and then just literally the side bolts on the cradle, bell housing bolts, we can reach everything, and the whole thing should just come right out.
I think it's got a coolant leak too.
That
looks relatively fresh.
I think it's leaking out of here. Sweet. Okay, let's grab our tools. We'll need a 14 mil, a 12 mil, probably a 13 because this is definitely a 13. And then we can drain the oil first, and we gotta pull the skid plate off. So right now, let's see. It's still a running car. I haven't touched it since we pulled it in. And we will keep track of how long it takes us to remove it. I bet 20 minutes. Be pretty easy.
It shouldn't be bad. There's not much to it.
We could almost change it during a regular service.
Yeah.
Not even like a long service, just a regular old service. Do what now?
Well, you see, mistakes were made.
Oh, you got the wrench stuck?
Oh, it's super stuck.
"30 minutes later, the wrench is now stuck inside the frame. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of all this done while Chuckles gets that out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess the header's stuck on until we get that off, so
Yeah.
it's easy enough.
Oh, this is safety wired on.
Well, we had a drain plug fall out, if you remember. At one
Yeah,
of
but
these
it
rallies.
makes it a little more challenging.
Can't let the drain plug fall out again.
I mean, it can still come out. We're just not going to lose it.
It shouldn't come out with its safety wire, though. It won't spin.
Maybe. Okay, well, the bolt's out, but the zip stick is stuck.
Really?
Yeah.
But the goal right now is just to simply get these electric ratchets that are stuck in here out. Because there's 2 of them stuck in here now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, that was about 30 minutes. Not that bad.
There's still a halfway stuck zip in there.
Yeah, here, this was the other stuck one. We can reacquire this. Oh, you took the battery out?
Yeah, I thought maybe I'd have a little more room to wiggle. Didn't help. We're still stuck.
All right. Colt removal, 30 minutes, easy peasy. We'll get this all cleaned up, looking nice. Clean the rest of this up. Just check everything over and make sure that it's good. This was literally slapped together, so just a good once over. Yeah, the oil pan's definitely leaking, dude, and probably due for a rear main, so I'll replace both of those. Oil pan gasket, rear main.
Do the front one too while you're at it?
And the front main. The front main doesn't look like it's leaking, so I'll probably leave that. I can do a front main with it in the car, so it's not a big deal. Little sediment in the water there.
Huh?
A little bit of some sediment in my water there.
Oh.
That's just fuel. Nice. I just remember, what was it? One of the last stages of the day, of the event really, we rolled up and it was like smoking on the exhaust where it had blown some oil out. Definitely from just the oil pan probably that slung up. I was really worried we were going to burn down because we kind of slowed down to stop and it was like out the hood vents, which is not ideal. So, look at that. Cute little engine. It's even got the carburetor on it too, you know? Looking big with the carb. Alright, sweet. We should be good to put this on the stand now.
Cool.
Alright, she's out. Cute little guy. Right in here. Get that all cleaned up. Look at the baby 12A exhaust ports, you know? They're like this big. Oil metering pump, looks like it. Leaking a little bit of oil, that's fine. Get this pan sealed up because it's the biggest mess. So you excited for Oregon Trail?
Oh, absolutely.
This is gonna be almost, I don't know.
I saw they released the route book and stuff, so I was like, not that we're using that, but I was like, get that checked out and look through everything again.
I literally cannot wait. The Oregon Trail Rally video is a video that y'all never got to see. We never made it. I never put it together. I got the whole video, but we never made it. We'll release it in a few years or something. Put it on somewhere. I don't know. Either way, I'm just pumped because what was it? Oregon Trail. We were like, you know what we need? A bridge. We were rolling down Main Street.
I feel like it was
Oregon Trail. We were rolling down Main Street. I'm like, you know, we would be so much cooler if this was a Bridgeported rotary Dodge Colt.
Well, all the Escorts were there.
And the Escorts chop.
Yeah.
They sound good.
For sure. And then there's an FB that's going this year.
Yeah, I saw
that's
that.
registered. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So.
I commented on a couple of those posts, and I wouldn't rally a first gen. I mean, I would, but I just don't want to.
It'd be so much fun. It'd be so cool to do it.
Yeah.
But there's just no headroom.
I know. We
already don't have headroom in this.
Yeah. But even if you just like look down the side of both of these cars right here, you can see the first gen, the roof just tips way in.
Yeah.
It's actually 4.5 inches narrower, I think, the roof lines from here to there, and then the first gen roof's narrower. So like we barely fit in here with these. And you look at Escorts, and Escorts are the same way. They're just as narrow as the Colt is. So, you know, for us big guys to fit in there with full containment seats, just because, you know, rest in peace, a few of these people who've gotten hurt and passed away in the past couple of years, but literally two years ago and then 3 years ago, there was 2 people that passed away, non-full containment seats, regional rally competitors. So not even like, they're like an NA Subaru, right? So like not flying, right? And just no containment, hit their head on the roll bar, you know, and that's the end. So I was like, we have to have containment seats because I know it's safe and approved or safety approved, legal to not have them, but man, you know, it's just not worth it. Like your life's not worth it, you know, to me, it's 100% not. I'd rather just be good. So
for sure.
I'm stoked with it, but yeah, I got some cleaning to do, which we'll get all that cleaned up, get the pan swapped out on this, get this shoved back in here. Easy peasy. Not bad for one night though.
Oh, for sure.
That came off way too easy. It was definitely leaking. Oh yeah. That's good on it. Alright guys, the oil pan is all sealed up, engine is all clean, looking nice, carburetor's all cleaned up, and the engine bay is all clean. So, I actually need my engine stand to stack up an engine, so I've got to put the engine back in the car right now. But you know, too many projects going on, but we're making it. Sweet, now my engine stand's freed up so I can build another engine, and then we'll just button this up after I build that. You know, full comprehensive RX-8 engine rebuild going down the week before we leave for Oregon Trail, and the same time we're rebuilding the rally car the week before we leave for Oregon Trail, you know, proper planning, getting stuff done. I've finished the exhaust for the rally car. Let me show you my rad handiwork. I'm actually super proud of this for the amount of time that I put into it. So basically that means it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be for, you know, what, just whipping this up in a day. It's gonna be loud, so we're gonna hear it in a second. So here she is. Nice solid mount right here. Stainless U-bolt holding this thing up. Look at this. Not going anywhere. I went ahead and heat wrapped it with all the safety wire because I love safety wire. I saw Eccentric Motorsports wrapped one of their like down pipes on this twin turbo LS RX-7, and then they safety wired this real sick pattern into it. So I can't credit this. I copied Eccentric Motorsports, but I do love my safety wire. So I heat wrapped all of this next to my fuel cell enclosure. The fuel cell actually sits a couple inches away from this on the inside. So this enclosure is just bigger than my fuel cell, but we are very close to that. Also, my leaf spring bushings, but there's a lot of air running through here. I don't think that'll get that hot. Signature dolphin tail little turn down. Coming up through here, this is the part I'm honestly most proud of, so ignore my booger welds, but the fitment and the axle clearance is going to be sick. So if you can't tell, with my pinion snubber right here and its marks, plus the frame rail and its marks from my bump stops, that I use all of my suspension travel. Okay, we hit some big things, things get smashed. As you can see, my brake line got pinched by the old exhaust, and I need to cut this off really quick just so that, you know, I have a place to zip tie this a little lower and there's space here. Regardless, which is a good reminder, I gotta, you know, comment below, remind me to cut that off. But we use all the travel. So I've got also an exhaust mount here, plus the one at the back. We've got the V-mount here, V-band here, words and stuff. A nice Amazon little muffler resonator thing. It's just a straight pass-through, which is the same as what that is. So basically this thing's gonna be very loud. And then some of the old exhaust up through here. I'm honestly real happy with how tight it is as far as how high up. Obviously it doesn't hit the drive shaft, so that's a win. This is a gasketless collector. It's got like one of those donut things in it. And then same thing, check out that pattern of safety wire. I re-header wrapped the header. So the header took a header right here, and there's a little dent, but it's only about a quarter of the way through, so I think we'll be fine. And then, yeah, everything looking fresh. So skid plate's back on. I really want to try to figure out some sort of protection for this vicinity here. I've got a screw hole in the frame, so I may just like cut a little sheet of aluminum, you know, throw a zip tie here, some self-tapping screws like on the top side down through this, mainly just for small rocks so that they don't get caught up in my fan and thrown into the radiator. And then same for this side here. I've got to tighten down the front of the skid plate, but remind me to do that too in the comments below. But that's the bottom of the rally car. So take a good look. Everything's pretty protected. You know, the exhaust is definitely the lowest point, which the lift doesn't really help you, but looking at that, you can see the rocker and you can barely see the exhaust. You can barely see the exhaust hanging down. I guess, I mean, there is some daylight through there, but, you know, it is what it is, guys. This is without cutting the floor and recessing my exhaust up into the floor so that there's no shot that it hits anything, because you really don't want to like enclose it completely. It gets too hot. It's impossible for me to not have this as an expendable piece of material on my car. So like literally, we destroyed our exhaust 3 of the 7 rallies that we've raced so far. So this is going to be rally number 8, hopefully the exhaust number 4, and hopefully it lasts. So rotary spec, mega loud, but you know, I think our sound is, it's like 100 decibels at so many feet. I think we'll be okay. You know, if my buddy Josh with his peripheral port Miata doesn't like completely piss everybody off, then I think they'll just be like, it's a rally car, we're okay with it. At least we never got in trouble at all whenever our exhaust fell off and we continued running. So I think we'll be all right. But I can get this thing topped off with fluids and let's back this thing out, take it for a little test rip. And then I got to finish up the RX-8 really quick before I leave as well. And we're almost ready to head to Oregon Trail. We just got to, you know, check the car over and then load it up, load the tires, load the spare motor. There's a lot of things we got to load up. But either way, test drive right now. Fuel pressure acquired. All right. This is gonna be very loud. Come on, baby. Close. Really? Come on, we want to go to Cars and Coffee. Get stuff loaded. Ready to load up. Maybe.
Got plenty of room back here.
I'll roll you back. All right, right there. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we're loaded up, ready to rock for Oregon. Chuckles here came out to help, my co-driver, and then this is Ben Zapsky from Maine. We met him at Southern Ohio Forest Rally last year, right?
Yep.
And after that, we saw him again at Overmountain, and we were like, "Hey, we're gonna race Oregon Trail. Do you want to come?" And he and his brother were like, "Yeah." So they're coming because we got an extra spot in the trailer. So we're hauling a Subaru across the pond. So we'll take a quick little run through of the trailer. And I'm excited. I know this is Ben's first time being on camera, so we won't put him on the spot too crazy. But we could put Calvin on the spot though.
Not again.
So there is a Subaru inside Mr. Rad's rotary trailer. And then the rotary Colt's up there chilling. So we're fully packed and racked. I got a spare engine. I got a spare transmission. We got a spare front cross member. Like, I still feel like I'm forgetting something. But I think, Ben thinks I'm well overpacked, right?
I'm underpacked.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. We just fixed up the windshield box. So I think we're ready to rip. So with that, the rally car's good. The engine's back in.
Yeah,
Sealed.
you two enjoy your 50 hours of driving across the country.
It's not gonna be 50.
I'm gonna enjoy my 6-hour flight.
Yeah, well, we have to get these there somehow, and I am not driving the Colt all the way there,
no,
so there's no way. That'd take way longer. So, but I think we should be good. So, Chuckles flies out there, gets in Wednesday morning.
10:30 in the morning.
We've got registration, I think, Wednesday evening, where we got to check in. And then Thursday, we've got recce. Friday, we're at Portland International Raceway doing tech and, rallycross, which is... I just can't wait for you to experience this event because it's so cool. It's just such a good event.
The speedway part's a blast.
Yeah, it's a
so
real
much
road
fun.
course. So
it's fun.
it's rad. And then and there was a ton of people. There was a ton of people there. And then we've got stages in Goldendale on Saturday and stages in the Dalles on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we have another 50-hour ride home. I didn't bring my mountain bike. Last year I brought my mountain bike and I stopped in Denver and rode bikes with my buddy Kyle. It was really cool. So it actually snowed where I was riding my mountain bike. But I think it was 8,000 feet. The truck was gutless. Made no power. Elevation. But I think we're ready to rip. So, been a long video. Cars and Coffee was good. Kind of just been all over the place. And I'm excited to hopefully see some of you guys at Oregon Trail Rally. If not, hopefully you guys enjoy the next few videos. So, ready to roll. All right. Keep it rad. Live a life you don't need a vacation from. We are off to the rally. It's just cars everywhere here now. We got Ben's Sprinter van with the trailer. They drove from Maine. Legit. Y'all going cross country. Maine.
Half painted roof.
Yeah. Don't look at the top. He's a little short. Couldn't reach it. But sick old machine. And then the white car made it up. The Radix 7's good. There's lots of projects that,
Projects everywhere.
that are going to be finishing up very, very soon because we got a rally finally. But everything runs.
Yeah.
Besides my green car.
When the brown car.
They don't know. It runs.
Okay.
We robbed the carburetor off of it for the rally car because the spare engine isn't a 12A. It's a 13B and, mad science.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, guys.